My name is Jiu Chongyi, 90 years old. I born in a traditional Chinese family. The story of my family starts from the early 60s in China. In 1927, China went into a civil war between nationalists and communists. The war ended in 1937. Even though the war is end, but it left a serious negative impact on Chinese people, such as poverty and starvation. For that reason, my great-grandmother decided to immigrate to another country, to searching for a better life. On the same year, 1937, she finally came to Malaya, introduced by a relative which already been here. In 1938, she gave birth to my grandfather. For my great-grandmother, it was a harsh time to raise a child when everything hadn't settled down. But the thing gets worse. In 1941, Japan started the invasion of Malaya. During that time, the savage age of Japanese soldiers caused many life sacrifice. So, my great-grandmother together with my grandfather ran away and hid in the forest. During the time they hide in the forest, they go through all the hardship like starvation, but they managed to escape from the massacre of Japanese. In 1945, Japanese surrendered. After a few years, because of the financial problems, my great-grandmother cannot afford my grandpa to further his study. My grandpa started to make money by selling coconut oil when he was 12. After a few years, my grandfather started to work with his uncle in a coconut oil factory. In 1964, my grandfather got married with my grandmother by arranged marriage. In 1965, my father was born. After 15 years work with his uncle, my grandfather started a construction business by himself, selling material and material supply. In 1985, economic crisis happened in Malaysia. That's the toughest period for my grandfather's business, and he nearly bankrupt. But he is a person that will not easily give up. He determined to save his career. After a few years of hard working, he finally succeeded.
And the past year, way back before 1940s, great-grandparents who are Chinese living in Fujian, China. They own some paddy field lands which bring enough money to support the living of the whole family. After several years, they expand their paddy field lands in order to increase the collection of paddies for the business trading. In a sudden starting from a month, the weather changed drastically due to the long-term hot sunny day, causes the place to change into drought. As a result, all the paddies could not grow, and this has greatly affected the sustainability for the living of the family, because paddies are the only income source through the business trading. So, one day after thinking of overcoming this problem with a great solution, a family meeting is set up in the house after lunch. Several ideas are discussed, but it is still not a good solution to solve the problem, and at the moment, my grandfather thought of and spoke up the idea in changing the career and looking for new jobs opportunity around the globe. Thus, my grandfather discussed with his parents about the idea where he can get the best job opportunity, and at last, he has made the decision after getting the permission from his parents to move down to Malaysia seeking for new jobs opportunities. At 1949, my grandfather took shape as a Chinese immigration to get access into Malaysia. When he arrived at the destination, which is located at Penang, he found there's not much houses, but the population is huge. Thus, it was the great opportunity for building houses, as there is a higher houses demand from the people living around the area. He starts learning and developing his skills in working with others as an employee for several months. Then, he managed to start his own business as a contractor to handle small building projects at first. After that, he hired subcontractors to help him in completing multiple building projects to bring his business to a higher level. At 1955, my grandfather went back to China and bring along his parents to stay with him in Malaysia after having a great income stream. He continues his career until his retirement age at 1985.